He carried a small parcel in his pocket, cheese from the market that would keep through the week. His boots struck the packed earth in steady time. The hedges rose on either side, still green but beginning to turn. In another month they would blaze with autumn, but for now they stood as they always had, marking the boundary between road and field. He noticed the light first, not darker, but thicker, gathering between the branches. A crow called overhead, sharp and brief, then vanished. He walked on, his thoughts turning to small, ordinary things: wood to split, a roof to mend, nails he might need to buy, familiar concerns for a familiar road. The bend came sooner than it should have. He slowed. The stone wall was there, the same stones in the same arrangement, yet something about it felt wrong, not different in any clear way, but just enough to unsettle. He stopped and listened. The road lay quiet. No wind, no distant sound, only his own breathing and the faint rustle of the parcel in his pocket. He turned to look back. The distance behind him seemed shorter than it should have been. The village was gone from sight. He drew a slow breath and walked on. The road continued, but nothing appeared where it should. Landmarks failed to arrive. The light faded to a dull grey, softening the edges of things until he could no longer be certain where hedge ended and shadow began. Unease settled in him, quiet but persistent. The hedges pressed closer. The next bend came too soon, and where Miller's gate should have stood, there was nothing. Only more hedge, unbroken and dense. He stopped again. This was wrong. He turned slowly, but the road behind him had shortened further, swallowed by shadow. He had walked long enough for distance to matter. It no longer did. He began walking faster. The road bent again, and again, each turn arriving too quickly. Nothing remained where it should have been. The oak tree did not appear. The bridge was gone. The land itself seemed to have shifted. Fear came then, not sharp, but certain. When he stopped, he stood at a crossroads that had never been there before. 4 paths stretched away, identical. He turned in a slow circle. There was no way to know which he had taken. For a moment he stood very still. Then the old memory came to him. His grandmother's voice, quiet and certain, spoken years ago by a winter fire. If you find yourself on a road that's gone strange, turn your coat inside out. He let out a breath. It was a foolish thing. And yet, he slipped his arms from the sleeves and turned the coat, working it slowly until the lining faced outward. The fabric felt different against him, unfamiliar. For a moment, nothing changed. Then gradually, something shifted. The air seemed to ease, as though a tension he had not fully noticed had begun to lift. The road ahead no longer twisted away from him. It held. He took a step. The ground felt solid again. Another step. The hedges remained, but they no longer pressed inward. The road stretched ahead with a quiet sense of direction. He walked on. The night gathered, and the first stars appeared overhead, steady and distant. Ahead, around a bend he could not yet see, there was light, warm light. He followed it. The road narrowed to a cart track before the building appeared. An inn stood at the bend, stone walls dark with age, windows glowing with firelight. Smoke rose from the chimney. He stopped, taking it in. The Hound's Inn. He knew the name, though he could not say how. He approached slowly and lifted the latch. The door opened without resistance. Warmth met him, along with firelight and the quiet presence of a room at rest. A woman stood behind a long wooden counter. She was older, her hair drawn back, her expression steady. "You've had a walk," she said. "I have," he answered, "though I'm not certain how I came here." "The road brought you." He glanced at his coat. "I turned this, something I was told long ago." "And the road listened." She stepped forward slightly. "You'll want to set it right now. You've arrived." He turned the coat back, settling it on his shoulders. Something eased within him. "Sit," she said. "I'll bring you something warm." He did. From the chair by the fire, the room felt larger than it should have been. The windows softened the dark outside. The heat settled into him. She returned with a cup, steam rising in thin threads. "What is this place?" he asked. "A place between," she said, taking the seat across from him, "for those who find the road changing beneath their feet." He frowned slightly. "I don't understand." "Not yet." He drank. The warmth spread through him, steady and quiet. Outside, the night had fully taken hold. "There's a room prepared upstairs," she said. "Rest. In the morning the road will show you what comes next." He nodded, suddenly aware of his weariness. As he climbed the stairs, he glanced back once. The innkeeper stood by the fire, still and watchful. For a moment he thought he saw something else near the door, a darker shape within the shadow. Then he blinked, and there was only the fire, the quiet room, and the inn waiting.